What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be episode 3 of the Getting My M3 Up to Snuff series. Today we're going to be cleaning the interior. So pulling the front seats out so we can get access to the carpet and vacuum. Then we're also going to be fixing the speaker in the rear so it's secured properly. Put the screw in. Possibly also realign my steering wheel straight. I actually noticed there's a rattle coming from the connector, like the airbag connector where it plugs in. Sometimes when I'm accelerating, you kind of hear it bouncing against the plastic. So fix whatever that is, and then we'll be done. So to start off, we're gonna come to the front of the seats here. We're gonna go ahead and move this all the way back to reveal access to the screws. There is 4 total. So 1 here, 1 in the back, and then obviously 2 on the same side. They're going to be a 16mm to pop off. Don't forget the cap first though. There might be a cap on yours. Sometimes these get so lost all the time. But there's 1 screw, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy off. There we go. A little bit tight, had to kind of break it there, 2 hands. All right, we got 1 off, only 3 to go. Make sure that when you do the back too, you get the seat moved all the way up so you have access to the bolts. Oh, also I meant to say the front 2 are nuts, the rear 2 are bolts. I think these are gonna be torqued in harder. No, not really. These seats have definitely been out before. Now we got 2. So our next step is going to be to tilt the seat, pivot it forward, and unplug it from the bottom, and then I'm going to lift it up then from the front and pull it out the front. So on the front there are studs because there's only nuts, right? And you're going to use that to help you get leverage. It's kind of hard to explain. I'm going to set the camera up somewhere in the interior and you're going to watch me do it and it'll make sense. I'm actually going to set the camera up right there so you can kind of watch what the front seat's doing. And then I also got a flashlight because you can't see anything under there without one. So I actually lied. I'm gonna set the camera up here, and I've been trying to get the plugs down there for a couple minutes now, so I'm gonna get to let you guys watch me struggle. It's a little bit harder on the automatic seat cars than the manual, because I've never pulled one out on a automatic seat car, so anyway, you're gonna get to watch my strategy.
A few moments later.
Hi guys, it's future me. So I've been putzing around with this for the past hour, and I finally realized that the last person to install these seats put zip ties around the cords. I really don't feel like dealing with that right now, so what I'm gonna do, and I just to make sure that I wasn't crazy, it's the same way on the other side. Both sides are like that. I'm just going to tilt the seats up and I'm gonna vacuum in there because it is just, it's a mess. I mean, it's organized, but it's a mess, and I think I really want 2 people for this. So we're gonna do that. This is definitely still very dirty. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the floor mats out and then we'll get started. It is super disgusting under here. I'm gonna show you guys here in a second. So if we bring you over here, see all that stuff all under the seat. This is super messed up. So I'm glad I'm doing this, but I'll actually show you kind of here. Got a zip tie in there, and then there's a zip tie over here, and then there's a couple more around, which is why I really don't feel like pulling this. I mean, the other side's the same way. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the vacuum, and we're gonna get all this out, and then I'm gonna show you the fancy carpet cleaner I'm gonna use and the fancy leather cleaner that I'm gonna use to make these look nice and pretty. All right, so for cleaning the carpets, we have the Chemical Guys carpet cleaner. This is diluted about 10 to 1. And then one of their brushes. And I'm just going to kind of use this to de-stain this entire carpet because I can definitely tell it's got a couple of sticky spots. So we'll get that out right now and then we'll move on to the seats. Alright guys, so I finally got this all cleaned out and it looks way better. I'm gonna kind of bring you over here so you can look at this. Saw what it looked like before, now it is spotless. I do apologize for the kind of mediocre lighting, but it looks a lot better. I'm gonna go ahead and do that to the other side, and then I'm gonna go ahead and then I'll get the seats back where they're supposed to be, and I'll show you what we're gonna do for the leather next. Alright guys, so I went ahead and vacuumed this, and I decided not to bolt up the seats yet because I figured it actually might give me better access, at least on the front, to have them unbolted because then I can, you know, tilt them. So right here we have the Chemical Guys leather cleaner and leather conditioner. You might have known that on this channel I'm a huge proponent for Leathery, and I think the products are amazing. I've used it before on 2 times on this car. But Leathery takes a very long time and it doesn't work in the cold. So Chemical Guys also has a really good cleaner. It's another 2-step. If you're gonna clean your leather, you definitely want a 2-step. The general like kind of 1-step like cleaning conditions at the same time generally tend to be very greasy, but this leaves a more natural look. So for the leather cleaner, you go ahead and grab a towel. So you get a towel and you spray some on your towel, then you just hit the seat. And instantly I can already see a lot of dirt coming off. After one go, you might not be able to see it because it's gray, but there's a big gray spot right there where I was just wiping. These seats are pretty dirty because I've not really cleaned them all winter. This winter season was actually pretty hard for me when it came to cleaning this car because, you know, first semester of college and not really having access to a lot of places to clean my car at, but it's definitely nice to clean it out now. So I'm just hitting the bottom now with the leather cleaner. You kind of go over a couple times, but you don't have to work too hard. Like the cleaner does most of your work. But now you might be able to see it. It's very, very gray up here and a little gray down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of this seat. I'm just gonna start with the driver's seat to kind of give you an idea between the driver and passenger seat, the difference. So you guys can definitely see what it looks like. So go ahead and finish this and then I'll see you there. Alright, so now I have the driver's seat all cleaned off, and now we have our leather conditioner and one of these little like microfiber applicator pads. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this guy open. Sometimes you can kind of like fold it over, get it around. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply it. Instantly you can see all the color come right back to the seat. Almost kind of like a trim restore, but for your leather. And then while you're doing this, it's also, in and of itself, is going to lift a little bit of dirt. Kind of just spread it around, make sure you get even coverage. The driver's seat on this car is definitely the worst one as far as wear goes. Definitely on the bolster here, it's kind of starting to give way. And I don't know, it's rather unfortunate because the rest of this seat's in pretty nice shape and the rest of the interior is flawless. And they don't make this material anymore, so if I do one driver's seat, I have to do, or front seat, I have to do the other one too, so they match. Just kind of, it's just unfortunate. Alright, so this kind of now has had time to soak in, and all I have to say is it looks pretty good. I mean, I've used a lot of cleaners before. If you have some really dried out or really dirty seats, it will probably transform it. These seats were already pretty nice to begin with, but I will say they look pretty good. And we're gonna go ahead and walk to the other side. Now, comparing this seat to one that was just cleaned, this one definitely doesn't feel, it looks about the same. That one looks a little glossier, but you can definitely feel this one's a more dirty and has been cleaned a little while. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that on the rest of the leather in this interior, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the rear speaker because I don't think we have time for the steering wheel, but the speaker, I definitely want to get that secured because it bouncing around while I'm driving is not very cool. Okay guys, so it is a new day. It was getting pretty late and I didn't want to continue working at night and, you know, upset the neighbors. But take a look at the interior here. That looks pretty darn good. And I mean, it all feels nice and smells nice and whatever, but let me show you guys. Speaker, if you didn't watch the reveal video for this series, then you won't know what I'm talking about. Well, that might give you an idea. Let's come in here. So the speaker right here is not secured properly because I'm missing one of the screws. And well, missing's the wrong word. I dropped it in the speaker. And I am gonna try to fish it out, but if I can't, I bought more screws and I'll just kind of live with it being in there until it goes bad at some point. Then I guess I'll find it then. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these screws out, and then you guys will get to watch me struggle with trying to get this out. All right, guys, so I tried fishing it out a little bit, or I looked at the flashlight, and there's no way I'm gonna get that screw out. So I have a bag of screws here. These are not the exact same ones. They actually don't make these anymore. And I could not find any in the junkyard when I looked a while ago, so these are close enough. Oop. Okay, got it. What a great start. So I'm gonna try to get this on there. I don't know how interesting it's gonna look on camera. All right, so come over here. We got her on. She is nice and secured. So that wraps up this episode. I have to do the steering wheel at a future date because I am really exhausted, honestly. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, and it took like twice as long. But you know what? Sometimes that's just kind of how it goes when it comes to this car stuff. You never know what's gonna come up, and when it happens, it's frustrating, but you kind of just have to like sit down, acknowledge it, push through it. But at least we got a good majority of what I wanted to get done. We'll sort out the check engine light probably in the next episode. Stay tuned for that if you want to see that. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this kind of shorter episode of getting this M3 up to snuff. I definitely wanted to get under the seats because it was disgusting under there. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.